Hello, basketball people, we have news. Let's go to more news about the Golden State Warriors. I ask you to give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, as I am a Warriors fan. Bringing back Gary Payton II is a desire of Stephen Curry and Warriors fans alike. Payton's defensive ability and energy coming off the bench have made him one of the most valuable players on the roster. Despite dealing with injuries over the past 2 seasons, his impact has been felt whenever he's been available. Just a month before the Golden State Warriors training camp gets underway, Gary Payton II finds himself in a position he knows all too well. Facing uncertainty about his future as a current unrestricted free agent, the Seattle native has yet to find a home for the upcoming season. Payton has expressed his love for Warriors fans and the Bay Area as a whole on numerous occasions since joining the team in 2021. While several teams could use the help of the 32-year-old Swiss Army knife, he could very well return to the Warriors, especially after receiving a special endorsement from the franchise's cornerstone player. Stephen Curry has reportedly been advocating behind closed doors for the Warriors front office to re-sign Payton, whose contract has expired following the conclusion of the 2024-25 season. His career average of 5.5 points per game doesn't immediately scream must-have player for a team that has been scrambling to find offense. True Warriors fans, also Curry, know the impact of Payton's presence goes well beyond the box score. Unique play style. Curry has previously referred to Payton as the tallest 6'3" guy in the world due to his unique ability to play above the rim and utilize his athleticism to generate easy points in transition. The Warriors have benefited greatly from the fast break opportunities that this skill set lends itself to, from his athleticism to his defensive prowess. Payton is primarily known for his active hands and quick feet defensively, pestering other teams' best players by creating turnovers or forcing them into critical errors late into the shot clock. His contagious hustle and grit give his squad a fighting chance to create more possessions and wear down opposing teams. Of course, Payton, who goes by GPII, was also an underrated part of the Warriors' 2022 title run. While he was injured for the majority of those playoffs, his return to the NBA Finals proved timely. His versatility in switching from Jaylen Brown to Jason Tatum took a toll on the All-Stars as the series wore on. Off-court impact. Arguably just as important as his impact on the floor is his impact off of it. Payton is a beloved figure in the Warriors' locker room, often joking around with teammates or uplifting them in games. This isn't always the case around the league for someone who has been a journeyman, fighting for consistent minutes on a permanent team year after year. Situations like these can foster competition and tension within a locker room, a fight for playing time, larger roles, or more attention. Stamp of approval. This offseason isn't the first time the Warriors leaders have vouched for Payton. On an episode of the Draymond Green Show, after the Warriors had captured their championship in Boston, Green told a story highlighting Payton's impact on the team. Back in 2021, when his first 10-day contract with the Warriors was coming to an end, Green assured him that there was no way they would allow the Warriors to release him. That 10-day ended here in Boston. And he's dapping all of us up like, "Yo, it's been great. I appreciate y'all." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "My 10-day is up." I'm like, "Dude, you'll be here. See you later." Green and Curry both called then general manager of the Warriors, Bob Myers, to personally lobby for his return. "We're like, you can't get rid of GP. Like, you got to bring him back. You see what he's doing? Practice makes perfect." Green and Curry have an up-close view of what he brings to the table, as Payton often tests his skills guarding Curry one-on-one during practices. Having the greatest shooter on the planet as a practice partner naturally promotes a winning mentality, with GPII continually reminding his teammates of his value. In a 2022 post for the Players Tribune ahead of the NBA Finals, he provided insight into what it was like guarding the league's best marksman. He's, Curry, one of the best ever to do it. So, sometimes he'd get me. But I made sure it was never easy, said Payton. "We'll see Bob Myers at the practice facility, and Steph will be like, 'Don't let that man go nowhere,' and have him guarding me in games." "I don't need that, Bob." The credibility Peyton has acquired over the years has earned him a certain trust that could be the key to the Warriors retaining him. Letting him slip away. In the summer of 2022, the Warriors didn't mind letting Peyton walk after they declined to match his 3-year $28 million offer from the Portland Trail Blazers. This was a move that would have sent the Warriors deeper into the luxury tax. The possibility of re-signing him now is made even trickier by his notable injury history. Despite having only been in the league on a full contract for a few years, his age and scrappy play style have contributed to a long list of unpredictable injuries. Decision time. In an offseason where the Warriors have made no moves thus far, Peyton's free agency decision could be the first domino to fall. If there's anything that Dub Nation knows, it's that Stephen Curry's voice carries major weight throughout the organization. Warriors urged not to pursue former NBA MVP amid free agency rumors. The Golden State Warriors have had an underwhelming offseason thus far as they have failed to make any additions to their roster outside of their 2 selections in the second round of the 2025 NBA Draft. This has mainly been due to the ongoing saga between them and restricted free agent Jonathan Kuminga, who has reportedly turned down Golden State's contract offer. While the Warriors continue to await a decision by Kuminga, they have already missed out on multiple free agent targets and they are quickly running out of options to upgrade their roster around Stephen Curry, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green. Despite this, it has been reported that the Warriors do have deals in place with multiple free agents that are expected to be finalized after Kuminga's situation is resolved. Warriors urged to not target Russell Westbrook in free agency. Golden State has also been linked to many players in free agency, including former NBA MVP Russell Westbrook, though the San Francisco Standard's Danny Immerman recently urged the Warriors not to pursue him. Like Ben Simmons, Westbrook would be another non-shooter who needs the ball. His energy and intensity are unmatched in the NBA, but there'd be nowhere for him to play in the half-court off the ball, even if he has grown as a screener in recent years, Immerman wrote. It would make more sense for the Warriors to let Butler and Brandon Podziemski handle second-unit playmaking responsibilities than to turn bench lineups over to Westbrook and his all-gas-no-breaks style. The Warriors need less chaos, not more. It is clear that Immerman does not believe the Warriors should target Westbrook in free agency, and he does make some valid points. Westbrook is coming off a great season with the Denver Nuggets last year where he was able to have the ball in his hands at a high rate, which would likely not be the case in Golden State. The Warriors are also in desperate need of outside shooting alongside their star trio, which is something that Westbrook does not excel in. Despite this, Westbrook could be a solid addition to Golden State's bench, especially with them being in desperate need of a backup point guard. While that may be the case, the 36-year-old veteran may not be the best fit on the Warriors roster, which will likely cause the franchise to look elsewhere in free agency to bolster their backcourt depth. Warriors get bad news on Jonathan Kuminga's $45 million contract decision. The story of the Golden State Warriors summer has been restricted free agent Jonathan Kuminga, who remains at a standstill with the organization in contract negotiations. Golden State's free agency signings have been held up due to negotiations with the promising young forward. The Warriors reportedly offered the number 7 overall pick in the 2021 NBA Draft a 2-year, $45 million contract with a team option for 2026-27, which Kuminga appears unlikely to accept. Kuminga is believed to be seeking more control over his future than the Warriors' current offer allows. Instead of committing to the 2-year pact with a team option, he could accept his $7.9 million qualifying offer and play out the season with Golden State. While a player option could make the deal more appealing, the Warriors have yet to budge from the team option. Jonathan Kuminga unlikely to accept Warriors' $45 million offer. Kuminga has been floated as a potential sign-and-trade candidate, but the Warriors are not expected to pursue that path. Instead, the club hopes to sign Kuminga and keep the flexibility to trade him mid-season. However, if a new deal isn't presented, all signs point toward the 22-year-old accepting his qualifying offer, according to Brett Siegel of Clutch Points. Unless they change their current offer, which the Warriors haven't given any indications that they will to this point, Kuminga will ultimately accept his qualifying offer, Siegel wrote. That wouldn't be the best scenario for Golden State, as all hopes to flip the young forward into value before the trade deadline would essentially disappear. The Warriors hold some leverage in talks, as few teams have the cap space to offer Kuminga more money, but the former first-round pick can simply accept his qualifying offer and wait until next offseason to get paid. If Kuminga accepts his qualifying offer, it would become much more difficult for Golden State to complete a mid-season trade. There's little reason to trade for a player on an expiring contract mid-season, unless a contender believes Kuminga could be the missing piece to a championship run. The 6'7" forward has showcased his potential despite inconsistent playing time in Golden State. Whether it comes this season or next, he appears likely to seek a new landing spot where he can grow into a top option. Stephen Curry comments on Warriors' title odds for next season. The Golden State Warriors are entering a pivotal season in 2025-26. After trading for Jimmy Butler at last season's trade deadline, the Warriors are going all in, and will enter next season looking to snatch another title in the midst of the Stephen Curry era. In a recent interview, via Clutch Points, Curry was asked about the team's title odds despite the lack of a young superstar on the roster, to which he responded with confidence that his team can remain competitive. Additionally, much of the Warriors' offseason has been taken up by the contract dispute with Jonathan Kuminga. The team has a few signings ready to be made, but nothing has been made official as no resolution has been reached with Kuminga. We're going to find out. I think we can, Curry said. There's a level of know-how. I think what we did last year, when we were top 3 in the league, both offense and defense, all the metrics showed we were a really good team. The Warriors don't have much time left to secure another championship with Stephen Curry. Even at 37 years old, Curry is still one of the league's premier players. Last season, he averaged 24.5 points and 6.0 assists per game while shooting 40% from three-point range. He was named an All-Star and earned All-NBA second-team honors for his efforts. The Warriors should be right in the mix for a top playoff spot in the Western Conference next season. Equipped with an older roster than most other contenders, the Warriors have a very short title window in comparison to their peers, making this upcoming season one of the most important in franchise history. In an unprecedented offseason for the Golden State Warriors, there continues to be no finalized deal for 22-year-old Jonathan Kuminga. The Warriors' acquisition of Jimmy Butler on February 6, 2025, significantly altered Kuminga's trajectory and highlighted his weaknesses. Butler became a substantial contributor to the Warriors' success, with the team going 13-2 during Kuminga's absence due to an ankle sprain. Kuminga has all the potential in the world. Kuminga, drafted 7th overall in 2021, was envisioned as a cornerstone of the franchise, relying on his raw talent and elite athleticism. However, after playing only 13 games with the G League Ignite, he found the transition to the NBA challenging. Throughout his rookie season, he was given limited opportunities and had to compete for minutes behind stars like Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, and now Butler. Since Butler's arrival, Kuminga's role has diminished, as coach Steve Kerr has prioritized lineups that maximize Butler's impact, often leaving Kuminga out of the rotation. Kuminga has rejected multiple offers, including a 2-year, $45 million deal with a team option, in favor of pursuing a player-friendly contract that signals his long-term value. According to ESPN, Kuminga's camp has explored sign-and-trade options with teams like the Suns and Kings. However, the Warriors, leveraging Kuminga's restricted free agency, have resisted trades, valuing his potential and trade value while focusing on their championship window. The Warriors failed Kuminga, now he has all the leverage. The Warriors' two timelines approach, balancing veteran stars with young talent, has faltered. The front office has ignored its failures following the Warriors' NBA championship win in 2022, which may have boosted the ego of owner Joe Lacob, who engineered this two-timeline strategy. Kuminga's raw talent does not fit Kerr's system, in contrast to Paul George's smoother integration in Indiana, as noted by an NBA executive. Although Kuminga's situation bears some resemblance to George's early career, he is now entering year 4, and significant gaps in his game impede winning basketball. It is important to note that the blame for Kuminga's lack of growth does not rest solely on his shoulders. A front office unwilling to make adjustments and a head coach who is not committed to Kuminga's potential from day one have contributed to the current situation.